Happening all over the world. We are coming to you live from Harmon. I'm Jason Salas. This is the Hotspot, and here's in what's our Monday data server.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the fresh garden bar.
Here's what's on the menu for today. We'll bring you the latest with the Roe versus Wade and testimony heard on Friday regarding the Guam heartbeat law. The Guam Visitors Bureau is hoping to add the Haneda route and expand the market in Japan. And we'll give you a preview of what to expect from this year's Guam Department of Education Teacher of the Year Awards show. Well, right off the top in our rundown today, the Biden administration announced it will launch a 24-hour mental health hotline for pregnant women and new mothers who need help as states prepare for a possible end to federal abortion protections.
From pro-abortion rights protests in Missouri,
we're not just going to lay down and let the Supreme Court take away our rights,
to a day of prayer in Mississippi.
I think it's murder to kill a baby in the womb.
Americans are voicing strong and conflicting opinions about the Supreme Court's potential overturn of Roe v. Wade. On Friday, conservative Justice Clarence Thomas told a judicial conference the court can't be an institution that can be bullied into giving you just the outcomes you want. But what Americans say they want on the issue of abortion is complicated. According to a recent Pew survey, a majority say abortion should be legal in all or most cases, but many are open to restrictions. And many opponents of legal abortion say it should be legal in some circumstances.
We are once again forced to defend fundamental principles that we hoped were long settled.
Speaking at a graduation in Tennessee, Vice President Kamala Harris said those fundamental principles include voting rights and
the rights of women to make decisions about their own bodies.
Senate Democrats are scrambling to try to get a reproductive rights bill passed, but so far they don't have the 60 votes they need.
Now, locally, emotional testimony continued last week at the legislature on Senator Talina Nelson's heartbeat bill that would ban abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected and provide civil sanctions against those who assist a woman in terminating her pregnancy. Here's a sampling of the proceedings.
I go back to the beauty of creation. Modern science and modern medicine are catching up. But the more we learn, we have to defer to what is precious. Life is precious. And the most vulnerable are those that cannot yell or scream. And that's why I think it's important for those that cannot yell or scream that we do everything we can to protect their lives.
The bedrock values that have sustained our community for thousands of years are the values of respect, compassion, and community. Inafat maulik, inagofli'i, zininadahi. Bill 291, copy and pasted from Texas SB 8, contains none of these values, and instead is intentionally punitive, overtly intrusive, and through the opening of civil liability and a bounty of $10,000 on the heads of anyone aiding or abetting a woman who gets an abortion, further isolates mothers, daughters, nieces, cousins during a time when they need us most.
I came today simply because one of the questions that kept being asked was, why not grant any exception for rape and incest? The simple answer is that by permitting abortion of a child conceived under the circumstances of rape and incest, we condone violence. We condone violence against a child. In the end, we simply have two victims, the mother and the child.
Now, last Friday was the second day of hearings on that bill, and according to the Health Oversight Committee, hundreds of testimony have been submitted and dozens of witnesses have appeared in person downtown at the Congress Hall. Well, there may be a new route in the works that could provide a big boost to future flight traffic from Japan to Guam. Here's Nestor Lecanto with details.
Guam Visitors Bureau President and CEO Carl Gutierrez is just back from a trip to Japan, where one of his key discussions with Japanese government officials was opening up a direct flight from Tokyo's Haneda Airport to Guam. He says once they expressed interest, he immediately contacted Governor Leon Guerrero for her blessing.
The good part is for us is that a lot of the other airlines that had a slot in Haneda have closed down and moved out. So it left a lot open. So Haneda is such an important airport for us. So I'm drafting a letter for her first right now to send to the State Department and to the Department of Transportation to speak with the Japan government to let one go, let one slot go for the short haul, which is Guam.
He says they're also eyeing slots currently allocated to the U.S. Defense Department.
DOD, I think, is going to give it up or giving it up, and so we want to try to tap in where it gets also a slot or two from the DOD.
Currently, Tokyo area residents must fly out of the Narita airport, which is about an hour away. Guterres says direct flights out of Haneda will make it much more convenient for them. He adds that GVB is also working on other ways to attract more Japanese who are lagging behind the Korean market arrivals.
Because it's 140 and their buying power is less, it's even less buying a flight to Hawaii. So we're going to do a campaign where it says, you want to make your money go a long way? Just go 3 hours south, southeast of Tokyo, and you're in Guam. So that's our campaign strategy right now because of the yen, the value of the yen.
GVB officials also met with Korean tourism officials in April, and Guterres says flights from there have been ramping up. For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
All right, thanks so much, Nestor, for that report. Elsewhere, the junk car problem on island is still not getting any better, and mayors discussed the issue once again during a budget hearing downtown at the legislature. Mayor Melissa Savares of Dedido says abandoned vehicles in her northern village continue to be a huge problem that just will not go away.
That in Dedido we clean up cars and tires, and when it rains hard, they grow again from the same ground that we picked it up from.
All kidding aside, the mayor says here's an example of just how bad it gets.
Just in one street, Swamp Road, from Isengsong all the way to Route 3, we picked up 400 cars. And this was 3 years ago. If you go to that same street today, there are 800 cars that need to be picked up from this area.
She says the mayor's council receives funding from Guam EPA through the Recycling Revolving Fund, but it's never enough. It's capped at $50,000 a fiscal year, and each of the two companies that can handle the junk car removal are capped at $25,000 each.
So that only allows us 200 cars per fiscal year.
She says the junk car problem is spreading into more residential areas.
But we know that people, to make extra money, have little chop shops or repair shops in their neighborhoods. Liguan Terrace is an example. You go into Dagu Court and you'll find a collection of cars inside because somebody's trying to make extra money. And he's repairing, and what he doesn't need, like Angel mentioned earlier, he throws on the side in front of his neighbor's property.
The bottom line is more budget flexibility.
I'm requesting for that cap to be lifted so that we as mayors, especially in the larger communities, can take care of all of the abandoned vehicles, the white goods, tires.
For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
All right, my friends, we got to take a break and pay some bills, but when we come back, we tell you what you need to know about this year's GDOE Teacher of the Year ceremony and how you can help select a People's Choice winner. We're going to head over to Cars Plus to get a big look at the big prize that this year's outstanding island educator will be driving away with. Stay tuned.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
Say hello to the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? you've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
Join Nestor Lacanto for virtual in-depth discussions with the movers and shakers in our community every Wednesday on In Full Zoom. Presented by IT&D and Calvo Enterprises, Inc.
To destroy the works of the evil one and the kingdom of darkness with light, and to rescue men from the law of sin. This is the gospel of Christ.
We hope you'll take your Bible and study along with us as we learn more about God's Word for us, right here at the Gospel of Christ, each and every Sunday at 5 p.m.
This is the gospel of Christ.
Would it be easier for the airlines to manage a vaccine mandate than a mask mandate? Is there a case to be made that it's time to give Ukraine offensive weapons so they can win this war? What should be focused on that could reduce inflation and avoid a recession? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Ega emisal las 9:30 cada domingo y 12 nombre de Maria Catiro Basilica, de estación KUAM Communications. Sanatan scheduling pre-esticia sa cinematulaika sa live broadcasts.
Welcome to Dancing with Myself, the ultimate dance party. Celebrity creators are setting the challenges and teaching the steps. 1, 2.
My body doesn't do that.
Dancing with Myself premieres May 31st, 10/9 Central on NBC.
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town, on Guam or the Sinamai, and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094.
You continue to be immersed in the hotspot. I'm Jason Salas, and this Sunday on KUAM TV8 and on Facebook and YouTube, live at 6:30, the winner of the Guam Department of Education Teacher of the Year Award will be announced in glorious fashion. And joining me to talk about the very prestigious honor is Captain Noel Enriquez, the Director and Chairman Emeritus of the Foundation of Public Education, with more details on this exciting event. So good to see you, Noel. This has been a while.
Yes, it has been.
And your entire family, I've known you, I've admired you, very good friends of yours. You guys never stop working, and certainly this is one of your proudest details? Is that even the right word?
Well, not really.
It's a labor of love.
It's a labor of love. It's the things that we want to do to support the community.
Now teaching and imparting knowledge and wisdom and getting young people ready for the next level is something that you have a lot of personal experience with. So what does it mean to be able to recognize and distinguish various teachers and everything like with an award of this magnitude?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm part of this organization, the Foundation for Public Education. We were established back in 2014, initially to support Guam DOE because they had some challenges with funding. But eventually, when the Teacher of the Year event was highlighted, we decided that was one of our events that we'd like to support. And one of our visions in line with that event was to make sure that we, raise awareness that public education is important to our island's future. Also, we've become like the conduit between the Guam Department of Education and the community. That's why we're able to support the Teacher of the Year, especially what's going to happen. Or we used to have a event every year, and that was the last one we had was almost 3 years ago. And we've been able to get community support, a lot of sponsors, like your company yourself, major sponsors.
Always an honor for us. Huh?
Yes, and we have all these other companies that are able to sponsor so that we can not only support the Teacher of the Year, but also be able to send them to the Teacher of the Year national event. And also they get a vehicle for a year with insurance and gas all paid for, and highlight the fact that, this is one of the more highly decorated, I would say, teacher on island, because that person is very important, not only to the student, but to the organization. And going back to why a Teacher of the Year, I think we need to highlight the fact that there are individuals out there that go above and beyond, not only teaching, but they do more than just teaching. They make sure that the supplies are available. They go outside of, go into the community and do other things.
It is not an 8 to 5 job, to
No.
be certain. And a lot of teachers I know, I'm related to many. I've gone to school with many
Yes.
that now are professional teachers. A lot of them pay a lot of this out of their own pocket willingly and happily, because they know, I'm not going to shortchange my kids.
And
I want to
that's-
make sure they have
yeah.
the best opportunities to be as successful as they can.
And that's what this organization is trying to do, to help these teachers. And also, we're also looking at student success. And that's one of the things that we're going to look at this year, is how we can help the students a lot more. There's scholarships and all these other things that, students can avail themselves. But at the end of the day, they're actually being helped to and guided to ensure that they become successful in life. And so, again, going back to the Teacher of the Year, this is the highlight of our of the event that we always look forward to. We got members out there in the community of members. Our chair wasn't able to attend today, but Maria Leon Guerrero, very involved in the community.
Speaking of a tireless worker, I don't know where she gets her energy, but certainly,
Yep.
this, talking about labor of love, like Maria puts her heart and soul
Yes.
into this cause.
Yes, she does. And so,
as you all do.
And she's also doing other things at the same time. So
Mhm.
she asked me to be here today to make sure that we let the community know that the teacher event is the actual teacher of the event. Teacher of the Year event will be occurring later this week, and they will select the Teacher of the Year for 2022 to 23, because the actual event occurs next year.
Now, if there are others like you, and that believe in what you believe in and are inspired by what you're doing, for teachers, for students, for the public school system, and they would like to join in the cause, and they want to say, like, I saw that interview on KUAM, I thought it was fantastic, sign me up.
Well,
how can people join?
Well, right now, we're always reaching out to the community to find individuals that are interested, not only for volunteering, but also being able to reach out and help out and figure out ways to do something different. With being able to support education on Guam, and primarily the public education. And the best person to reach right now is Maria Leon Guerrero, because everybody kind of knows where Bank of Guam is.
Yep.
So if you ask for Maria, she'll be the one that will probably be able to answer a lot of your questions. I'm out in different areas of the community, so I'm wearing different hats. So it's probably better that, if somebody's interested in being able to be part of this organization, the Foundation for Public Education, is to contact Maria at the Bank of Guam.
And I think if there's one word that can kind of just summarize, the good work that you and your colleagues have been able to do with the Foundation for Public Education, it is progress. And, being able to evaluate and assess, what the current state is and improve upon that and make sure that, it continues to keep up with the pace of technology and different educational trends and again, make opportunities available.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier about being able to look at student success, we weren't able to concentrate on those things before because there are just so many things going on, with the pandemic and other activities that students are participating in. So now we're trying to figure out how we can best support the students.
Absolutely.
Whether technology, reaching out to different programs that's available out there. In fact, we're looking at teaming up with another group to be able to reach out to students. I can't tell you what group that is yet. As soon as we finalize all the things that we need to finalize, then we'll advertise it to the community and let them know that this is something that we're also working on to help student success.
All right. Well, I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and lead the way. I'm sure I heard that somewhere before.
I bet you did. And that's why I'm here to be able to continue to support education on Guam.
Absolutely. Okay, so we are going to take you now live. We are going to go to Cars Plus over in Mighty, where our Isaiah Uggan is live on location, and we are going to find out more, as you said, Captain. To the victor go the spoils. So, Isaiah, what do you have for us?
That's right, Bree and Jason. We are here at Cars Plus in Mighty. Actually, we're inside the showroom to check out the 2022 to 2023 Teacher of the Year, what they will be driving off with. Joining me is Eddie Wagtooth, a sales consultant here at Cars Plus. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Isaiah. Thank you.
Awesome. So actually, tell us what the next Teacher of the Year will be going home with.
So right now we have right behind us is a 2022 Hyundai Kona. So that will be the car given out this year.
Awesome. So what are some of the features of this car?
Oh, there's a bunch of features that comes with these vehicles. So just the main, popular features that a lot of people like would be, the backup camera, the Bluetooth. You know, it's a subcompact car, so the capacity is of 5 people, so pretty good car.
Awesome. And so, you know, out of all cars you have here on the lot, why this one? And if customers wanted to come by and actually purchase the car, why should they get this car?
Oh, that's a good question. So basically, this is so this is a really good option because it's a subcompact car again. Pricing is very good, and you know, it fits many people in their everyday life. So families, single families, to, you know, whatever the case is.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eddie. Everyone, if you guys would like to purchase a car, stop by Cars Plus in Mighty to see Mr. Eddie Wagtooth. He's a sales consultant. And best of luck to the 6 finalists vying to be the next Teacher of the Year. Reporting live from Cars Plus in Mighty for KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas, Guahusi Isaiah Uggan.
All right, so you saw Isaiah right there, and our friends at Cars Plus, one of the many, as you said, Noel, one of the many partners that's making this possible. That's a nice set of wheels that the Teacher of the Year is going to come away with.
Okay. I was ready to drive away with it if I could. So.
Well, so, just maybe some final thoughts on what it means to be the Teacher of the Year and to get that recognition, but also to represent Guam and the community of amazing educators that we have here.
Well, I first of all, I want to thank all the sponsors that are, you know, supporting the Teacher of the Year, including KUAM, Cars Plus, Bank of Guam. But going back to the Teacher of the Year, you know, I think, again, acknowledging the tireless efforts of all these teachers, you know, in a simple manner, because at the end of the day, again, they just do so much for so little that we need to at least pay attention to them to let them know that they're being acknowledged, and, you know, we care about what they're doing, and that they're helping the community. And as one of our visions is being able to highlight the importance of education, public education, to our island's future. So, you know, again, they might do little things, but it goes a long way, because, again, you know, as you just said, you know, the children are our future.
Absolutely.
And the teachers are the ones that are there in the classroom. You know, they're there 8 hours a day. You know, they might be at home, you know, the rest of the days and in the evenings, but most of their lives are spent in the classroom, and the teacher is, I guess, the most important person to affect the future lives of our children. And so, again, I thank all the teachers, not only the Teacher of the Year, but all the teachers here on Guam.
Absolutely, very well done. Okay, so we want to make sure to let everybody know, you can see it on your TV screen right now. For the first time ever, there is going to be a People's Choice Award in addition to the Teacher of the Year. So you can go right now on our Facebook page, facebook.com/KUAM News, and right at the tippy top of our timeline, you can actually vote by liking one or more of the teachers. You can vote for all 6 finalists if you want, but please vote there, and we will announce the winner of the People's Choice Award as well as the Teacher of the Year. That's going to be on Sunday, 6:30, KUAM TV 8. Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Noel Enriquez, thank you so much for what you're doing to recognize educators, and thank you for your service to the island.
No, thank you too.
All right, well, please stay tuned because we will be back. More HotSpot after this.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Pacific Matters is a half-hour news, culture, and lifestyle show focused on issues that impact Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and the larger Pacific region. Join Tomas Magonia every Monday to discuss politics, trends, and take a deep dive into the issues changing our island home, because what happens in the Pacific matters. Start off your middays with the menu on KUAM News Hotspot, your preview to the big news items. Broadcast on KUAM TV 8 weekdays at noon, with live stream on our social media platforms, plus an encore at 5 p.m. on KUAM TV 11.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the Fresh Garden Bar.
It's deep diving into what's making news, listening to your feedback, and getting you the answers you deserve. Plus, remembering to laugh a little too. Join me, Chris Barnett, on The Link, live streaming video on the KUAM News Facebook page and YouTube channel, and broadcast live on The Breeze, 93.9 FM, KUAM.com, and the KUAM News app. Miss The Link, miss a lot, so don't miss it.
The Link is presented by IT&D, Calvo Enterprises Inc., Jack in a Box, and Pacific Points.
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town on Guam or the Sinamai and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094.
It is time, as always, to get Digi with it as our Tomas Manglona reports on a new technology that could make indoor air as safe as that outdoors.
Risk of COVID-19 transmission is much less outside. Now researchers are testing new technology that could make indoor air as safe as outdoors. Researchers at Columbia University are trying out a new kind of ultraviolet light called far UVC light. Dr. David Brenner says unlike the UV light currently used to sterilize hospital room equipment when people are around, these lamps use a different wavelength that is not known to be harmful to people. Dr. Brenner co-authored new research showing far UVC light took less than 5 minutes to kill 98% of indoor airborne microbes, which means it could possibly reduce the transmission of diseases such as flu and COVID. Scientists say another advantage to this UV technology is that viruses and bacteria cannot develop a resistance, which can happen with vaccines and drugs. And over in California, electric and hybrid vehicles are becoming more popular in the U.S. Now there's a push to get green trucks on the road. TTSI hauls goods from Los Angeles area ports, which recently announced that only zero-emission trucks will be allowed starting in 2035. Several other ports across the country are pushing for carbon neutrality in the coming decades. If the current testing of eco-friendly trucks goes well, TTSI could buy around 100 new vehicles this year and many more down the road.
All right, really good reporter hustle there from the birthday boy, Tomas Manglona. Send him a DM, let him know happy birthday from all of us here at KUAM. I'm laughing because Tomas is probably like watching this right now. I'm probably going to get a DM from him saying, why are you saying it was my birthday? But tell you what, you still got time to DM us. Please make sure to go on our Facebook page. As I said, vote for the People's Choice Teacher of the Year. That's facebook.com/KUAM News. Really, really simple. We've got a big gallery of all 6 of our finalists, and just like the teacher that you think is most deserving of our Teacher of the Year. And you know what? You still got a half hour left for lunch. So we're going to let you go, do the lunch thing. Please drive safely back to work, and we'll see you at 6 tonight for Primetime.